Minutes to 8 o'clock here, and whiskey lovers now, one of them sitting right next to me, are descending on Sandton over the next 3 days.
The Sandton Convention Centre will be playing host to the Whisky and Spirits Live Festival.
Well, organisers say visitors can expect to meet master distillers, global brand ambassadors and a range of industry experts, and it's quite an industry.
Yeah, one of these global brand ambassadors, for whatever brand that is Donald Colville, Whisky Connoisseur, ambassador from the House of Walker's Global Malts. Donald, good morning and thank you very much and welcome to our program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And the business of whiskey now, I mean, we have a whole festival dedicated to whiskey. The business of whiskey is a serious one, especially from where you come.
Yeah, it really is. I'm like, it's a key part of the British Scottish economy, but it's such a globally loved product, Scotch whisky. It's everywhere you go, every bar in every world will always have a bottle of Scotch whisky on the shelf.
Yeah, does Scotland still produce the best whisky in the world?
You say still produces, it's always produced the best whisky in the world.
Okay, so you still count yourselves among the best. There's always this thing about whisky, okay, between blends and single malts, and people say which is better and what, and the older the whisky is better, single malt is better. Is that the case?
Not in the slightest. All these myths have been created over years by whether it be marketing or people's perceptions, but the reality is trying to compare single malts and blended scotches, it's like trying to compare champagne and red wine. Just because they're both made with grapes doesn't mean you can compare them. There are blended scotches out there of such exceptional quality, high standards, blended, crafted together, that are just exceptional. But the same principle comes with single malts. Single malts are so uniquely perfect in their individuality, but it's them that come together to make those blends. So it's kind of a symphony versus a solo violinist, in that kind of analogy, if you like.
Well, help me out here, because every time I try to buy him a gift, I try to find the best. You're a single malt man, right?
I always say single malt.
Single malt. So, but even then, how do I know what is a good quality? What should I look for?
So first and foremost, I think one of the key things for me is always you go to a really good kind of liquor store, bottle store, the people there we've worked with, hopefully trained them to actually be able to help guide you in that kind of journey, because it's not just necessarily about looking for that brand name that everybody knows, but actually looking at for the flavours, the styles that you know that person likes. So if you know somebody is like really into their kind of like espresso coffee, red wine, kind of dark chocolates, so you can actually look at a bigger, powerful, more smoky whisky like Kalila. But if they don't like that, steer away from that kind of style of whisky.
You brought this one here, the smoky whisky.
Yes. So
how old is this?
So this is 35 years old. Wow. It's a Kalila.
I see you've been drinking already. Yeah. It's open, Donald.
We had to make sure the quality was good.
You check it out.
Some in my mug there, don't close it.
We'll have a look at that. Wow.
Well, I want to know, because you see whiskey KY and then you see KEY. What's the difference?
Basically, the country it comes from. Everybody's got their own spelling. So if you look at some countries, like Scotland spells it without the E, Ireland spells it with the E. To be honest, there's no real, it just kind of more helps separate where it's from.
Oh,
is bourbon, American bourbon whiskey?
Yeah, so that's whiskey with an E as well. So basically whiskey as a style of drink is anything that's made using grains. Yeah. So, but everybody's got then bourbon is a specific style that's made in that region of Kentucky, etc.
Yeah, our program editor Andrew and I were talking off air before we went on air. He said some people are beginning to collect whiskies, or it's been going on for some time. I mean, can it become a collector's item? And if you want to do so, which kind of whiskies do you target to become collector's item?
Yeah, it's more and more now we're seeing whiskies that are being bottled with a collectible element to them. There is a huge investable element to whiskey, because it is something that tends to over time either retain or grow in value. But I think it's important I always say that the whiskies that we make, while they are rare, special, collectible, they're also always made to an incredible high standard. So our ambition is always for them to be open and consumed and drunk and enjoyed. But there are some whiskies out there that from maybe distilleries that are now closed, sadly no longer with us. Some distilleries like Kalila that are normally only, the whiskey there is almost exclusively used for our blending, so people don't necessarily know it as well, but the quality of the whiskey is so exceptional, and then to get one that's 35 years old, the oldest we've ever bottled from that distillery, it becomes quite special for people and quite...
Only for special occasions, I would imagine.
Everybody's definition of what a special occasion change is different.
Every day is the day to celebrate, but I want to ask you, how to drink whiskey properly. I mean, is it sacrilege to add a soft drink or sacrilege to add water to a whiskey? What's the correct way to actually get the best out of it?
So if you don't mind me answering that question with a question, can I ask, I see you've got a lovely cup of tea there. Yeah. How do you drink your tea?
Well, that's green tea.
Green tea,
so it's just like that.
So if you're
ugly as it gets.
if you're drinking coffee, how do you drink coffee?
Black maybe,
Black.
Or
so if I told you how you had to drink it as a cappuccino with 4 sugars in it from now on, would you listen to me?
No.
No, and the principle's the same. Nobody's got a right to tell people how to drink their whiskey. The reality is that whiskey is it is so pure and perfect in this absolutely natural form that it should be and could be drunk neat. It doesn't mean it always has to be, because it's actually such an incredibly high quality flavours from liquid. It can be used as a tall drink and with soda. It can be used as in a cocktail. It can be used in any shape or form you want.
I come from that orthodox school. I think it's sacrilege to put anything in bottled whiskey.
It's just rocks.
I mean, I was taught to drink whiskey by a Scotsman, late Ian Christie was my first editor way back in the 80s in Mozambique. He said, if you have to, put a spoon of water, but just drink it.
Of course, that's absolutely the perfect thing to do, because that helps. That's your own personal way of enjoying it. But for some people, that might be quite a challenging way to start. So actually, by enjoying it first in a cocktail, it's a good way to start.
Whiskey sours.
35-year-old whiskey, you put something in it? No way. You want to get all the flavours.
You would be surprised with some of the things we see.
What you can do. Wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks
Very welcome.
to Donald Colville there. We can